Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Get Dirty Garage, where today we're finally going to finish up that mini tubbing and quarter panel installation on the Elco. So stay tuned, and we got bunches of work to do, so let's go ahead and let's get dirty. Is this thing on? Yeah. Okay, well, the nice new quarter extension finally showed up, so that's a wonderful looking piece of car. So nice and well formed, I guess. But so next task is getting the other one off, see if we can extricate this, figure out how we can reattach the new one. So got a special disc for the sparkly wheel of terror just for this occasion to reach down behind all of that stuff. So let's make some sparks and see if we can get this one off of here. Okay, quick work of that, but looks like just a spot weld flange, some cleanup here, and we'll cut the rest of this off in the corner back here. Attaches to this quarter inner, or the quarter extension as well, so we'll get that cleaned up, see if we can't find the spot welds and get that out of there and start prepping to get that new one back on. Sounds like a plan. Okay, good news and bad news. Got all the 83 bazillion spot welds drilled out there, and that surface cleaned up a little bit, and so that's the good news. Bad news is I was trying to fit that panel in there, and this back section here is actually supposed to be flat, and that's not flat. So gotta fix the part that isn't supposed to be broken before I can use it. So I think I'll just take a slice in here and kind of straighten it out, because there's some spot welds between those two pieces there. So I will slice it there and kind of fold it together and get it fitted on up here and go from there. So gotta love fixing somebody else's new stuff. Oh well, on with the next. All right, so I got that straightened out, test fitted, and found another spot in the back where I had to modify that a little bit to get in there. I've screwed it and glued it and taped it and bubble gummed it and clamped it in place. So I think we're good. I checked the fit with the quarter panel on. So I got to get. I guess now the only thing I get to do is actually crawl up underneath there and get that welded on from the backside. It's actually got some welding to the flange of the bedside here. So gonna go get the scuba gear on and get things done from the bottom. Okay, I think we are attached. Nothing that copious amounts of seam sealer can't fix from there. So, but yeah, I'm going to have to seam seal along all of the top of that. That's the way it was from the factory. So we'll get a little bit of that going, and then we should be in place and ready to start putting the inner wheel wells in. So that one's out of the way. Yay! All right, now that we got that all welded in, one quick thing to note: I did have to chop off a little bit of the front, and got the chance to make a new weld flange in there because you guys remember this piece that I cut off of the inner fender that was kind of all crinkled up like a wadded up tin foil, and so I spent a lot of time smashing on it and pounding it straight and all that good stuff. Well, turns out that not all of it was supposed to be straight. So because that's the front part of the standard quarter extension there. Since I've already spent the time and smashed that straight, I got the chance to practice my compound curve making bracket skills. So yeah, anyways, so I got that fitted up in there, and got this should be so it is able to get tacked on there. So everything looks good there. Have to attach that, but next I think we got to put some seam sealer on this beast here. So we'll it's got to be sealed up to the body. Once the quarter panel's on, never see that seam again. So take that opportunity, and the doctor will see you now. No. It's a rubber glove thing. It creeps me out a little bit, but that stuff is pretty nasty, I think. So got the AC/DC standard medium body filler and or seam sealer, I guess. So we'll get a bead of this stuff on there, just enough to seal it up that don't have to worry about it. Get the opportunity to do a lot of this stuff after we get all the blasting and body working and all that fun stuff, but Alright, made a good mess out of all that stuff. But should be good to go. Alright. Okay, we'll call that good enough for now and good enough for who it's for, and we will get to putting on this, reattaching this back to the wheel well and try and get that fitted in with the outer wheel well and so on. So we will go from there. Okay, time to start rebuilding this wheel well, and I'm going to start by tacking the piece that I cut off back on, and then we can kind of fit it up with the outer inner with the inner before we weld everything together here. But ran that through the sandblaster, primered the back side of it, and we'll get this kind of tacked up in place and start playing around with some fitments. So. So that should give us a good indication of where it wants to live. Now I want to put that other portion of the wheelhouse in, get those kind of clamped together. That way we can see how everything will fit back up to the corner there. Throw a couple of screws in it as well. Guess I should clamp that thing together before I do that. Okay, well, I wore out that screw. Nothing worse than a wore out screw. Hopefully this one's got a point on it. Keep trying to reuse these things because that's just how I am. Must be made out of solid titanium. Maybe it's that fancy unobtainium stuff. You have to splurge and try a real screw. Okay, put one down in this kind of corner here where things all come together. Okay, inside seam is pretty well evened up. I think everything looks like it's gonna go in the right spot at the right time. That should give us everything that we need to put those two together eventually. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the inner portion of that tacked on there so we can keep it in one spot. All right, well, that'll give us a weld surface for that. So now we will get that in there permanently and then start working on that inner well. All right, well, got that chunk of the wheel well mounted into both the quarter inner and the bedside here, so got that seam taken care of, so that's in place, and got the inner portion actually primered up on the back and mounted in place where I want it. Took some measurements, and I got the inner fender of the bedside in there, just sitting in there, just to make sure that we had all the good clearances and so on. Nothing was interfering. So now I gotta take care of this mess that I made when I cut that out to try and get rid of all the tinfoil smashed portions of it and so on. So I made this incredibly complex, multiple different cavity curve patch to go into here, so I can fill that gap and get that kind of patched in there. And then what I'll do, I think I'll take this in sections as I go through that inner wheel well. I really didn't cut that very straight, so I'm going to have to make some templates and go along. But I'm going to go ahead and put the patch in, and then get that inner wheel well welded to the weld flange that we put in there, and then we should actually be pretty good shape to get the rest of that trimmed out, and then we can call that portion of it at least complete. So we'll get to melting some metal here. Okay, well, I think that gets us a solid foundation. I'll pull the screws out and finish spot welding all that fun stuff up and get some grinding done, and we'll take a look at what it looks like from there. All right, so we've got the inner wheelhouse in, got this patch in and kind of ground down, got a few cleanups to do, but got the plug welds in along that area and then down along the brace and so on, so it's in there solid to the car at this point. So now all we got to do is fill our gap as we go around, and we should have that inner wheelhouse complete. So next step is the gap filler. Okay, so cut out 1.5 inch strip, and time to try and piece this together. I cut this a little extra long, so we'll kind of tack it in and bend it and form it as we go. We'll see how that works. Maybe a total epic fail, I don't know. We'll give it a shot, and if we have to, we'll cut it up into smaller pieces and try and follow the crooked cuts that I made earlier. So, you know, that we'll see. So we'll go ahead and try and get this tacked in and get this thing mounted in there permanently. So, by the way, you know, I read that there's a law that you got to turn your headlights on when it's raining in Sweden. I think that's good, but how am I supposed to know when it's raining in Sweden? Okay, let's get some work done. Okay, so that was an epic fail, but did have to chop it in a couple of pieces to get it tacked up in there. Got a bunch of fitting and welding to do, so I'll get busy on that and then get you in here and show you how it goes. I think for the other side I will actually fit that spacer to the inner before I weld that in, just to make that a little bit easier off car. So lesson learned on that one, but we'll get this one wrestled into place and figure it out from there. So okay, many hours later, that is in. Not real proud of all of the welds in there, but that's mostly because I didn't cut that straight and then didn't spend the time to actually make a template. I was thinking I could just put an 1.5 inch strip in there, that since the cut wasn't straight, it really didn't fit in there very well. So spent the time adjusting and hammering and slicing and grinding and re-welding, and then chased pinholes around, turned a bunch of pinholes into burn-through holes, and yada yada yada. But anyways, it is in, so I think it's finishable from there. We will call that good. Throw a little primer on it and so on, but let's get ready to put on that outer wheel well. All right, to prep this outer wheel well, a couple of things I want to do. I got some spot welds down here that I got to get through the rocker and then across here, so I'm going to have to grind off this finish, put on some weld through primer. Got to drill a bunch of holes here for the plug welds going along all of that area, and then to fit the quarter panel on, also need to get this finish off this bottom edge here and then throw some primer at that. So then we'll get it up and fitted in there and should be ready to go. So I'm going to knock some holes in this thing. Not going to do as many spot welds as they had, but get enough in there to hold it. And then just get that edge where it's going to be welded on. And make sure, you know, if you're getting actual weld through primer, it's a zinc based that allows you to weld through it without spattering too bad. Not the best stuff in the world, but it does work a lot better than regular primer. So it's the only way to really be able to get that primered and then have it stay there while you weld without starting a fire or burning or something like that. So that should be good. Got that kind of prepped. Now we'll just let that primer dry, and we'll fit that up and get it welded in. Okay, I think we're finally ready to melt this thing in place. Did a quick test fit with a quarter panel, made sure everything fit from here to here, and the seam was the edge was gonna be good. So we should be ready to go. I'm just gonna plug weld in all of this. Couple along there, quick couple of spots there, and we should be good to go. So we'll see if the MIG gas holds out. That needle's been on 0 for quite a while, so we'll see. All right, well, best part about that is there's really no cleanup, because just got to wire wheel it and throw some primer at it, but it is in and permanently part of the car again. So we are really closing in on being able to get that quarter panel in. So excited about that finally. So, all right, guys, on to the next. Okay, well, before we get to putting the quarter panel on, it's time to try and fit this wheel well into the bed and tie everything together. So we'll get that spotted in here and see if we can get things all lined up again. So kind of got it where I want, I think, and we'll take a couple of tacks and see how it comes out. All right, well, it is poorly welded in place, so we will get out the grinder, see if we can't make a decent looking mess out of this ugly looking mess, and we'll check back in at that point. All right, so many muchlies later, it's in pretty smooth in there. I had to use a small ball attachment on the die grinder to kind of get that transition in there. Got a little bit more cleanup to do, but pretty happy with, you know, kind of the profile of it. Seems to blend in pretty decent, and got it all in there and ready to go, and also got the other side done. So that's a good thing. Now it's actually time to get onto that quarter panel, finally. Okay, gonna go over the prep work real quick, just so that you kind of understand what's involved in all that. I do have the taillight bracket in and installed, so that gives me that spacing. I've also gone along, cleaned up all the weld areas, put holes in for the plug welds along the bottom edge, and then also along that wheel well. Cleaned up all the welding edges and so on. Got the front edge trimmed where that meets up. So basically ready to install that. Got it cleaned up and so on. And then also on the quarter panel itself, I actually did, or the inner quarter, cleaned the rust up and put that rust reformer stuff on, primered the new parts that we put in there, so that should be ready to go. And now we'll get to fitting it on the car. Okay, well, I think we are ready to weld. You see I put a piece of angle iron, clamp this along this top rail here, because this top rail is dead straight on an Elco. And you know, if I just clamp it in a couple of spots and start welding along it, I'm going to get some waviness in there. So I want to keep that top edge real straight. It's not real tight, but it's tight enough to keep it in place. Got the alignment down on the door. I think that fits really good. Taillight fits. Everything seems to be in place. So time to get busy melting some metal. Well, sorry my battery died in the camera and you missed a whole bunch of fun, but and also both of my angle die grinders died, so haven't been able to put a finish grind on anything, but it is on, attached, and pretty much cleaned up. I do have quite a bit of finish work to do, but at this point we will consider that attached. I did not do a complete bead across the top here, and you'll see that in a future episode why, but right now the Elco has its hind quarters, so we are making progress. Well, listen guys, that's going to do it for this edition of Let's Get Dirty Garage. Got the quarters on, got the mini tubbing done. Man, that's a lot of work for an extra 1.5 inches of tire, but I think it'll be worth it in the end. So listen, I appreciate you watching so much. Leave me a comment, let me know how you think we're doing, and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and as always, thanks for getting dirty with me. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.